Hey everyone, and welcome back to the morning after show where I basically react the morning after to a Chelsea game. Now, the good news is that we scored a goal. The bad news is it was an own goal. I mean, if we continue like this, the goal of the month video is going to be pretty short. Anyways, we lost against Brentford. Am I surprised? No, I'm not surprised. To be honest, when I saw the lineup, I was like, what is going on here? I mean, it was a lineup that basically said, we are probably not going to score a goal. Let's try and not concede one, which worked for a while until we conceded an own goal. Now, after we conceded the own goal, of course, halftime, we made some changes. In my opinion, not enough changes. In my opinion, we should have gone all-out attack in the second half. Of course, we made some changes. I'm glad to see Aubameyang back on the pitch. Let's say, call it traditional number 9, finally something. Again, he needs more game time. I would have loved it if he started the game actually, which would have made much more sense. Mudryk is the type of player right now that is just running around and there's no real finishing product. In Dutch, we say kieken zonder kop. It's basically a chicken without a head. Like when you chop the head of a chicken, it still runs around for a couple of seconds, but it doesn't really know what's happening. It's basically my feeling with Mudryk right now. Again, he brought some energy when he came in, but there's no finishing product, in my opinion. N'Golo Kante, I'm glad he's back in the team. I don't know what's going to happen with his contract. The situation there is very, very unclear. But since he's back, I think we should partner him with Enzo and leave those two alone in the midfield, a bit like the Jorginho-Kante partnership with Tuchel, for example. And then we can add a bit more attacking players, because I think Enzo and Kante in front of the back line should be enough, should be safe enough. We don't need Kante, Enzo, and Kovacic, because it just doesn't make sense. All three of them won't score any goals, right? All three of them don't really score any goals, or at least not for us. So I really don't see the point of having all three of them, because then you sacrifice your attacking players, which again should be more creative, but throughout the season, as you will see right now on the screen, we haven't really been that creative. We have conceded 35 goals and scored only 30 during 32 games. We lost 13, won only 10, drew 9. I mean, truly remarkable season from Chelsea. And now if you look at the stats for this game, we had 15 shots to Brentford 7. 4 of those were on target, whereas Brentford had 1 shot on target, which was the goal, because of course the own goal doesn't count. We had 73% possession, so we go back to the comment that Arsene Wenger had. We can control the game, we can have possession, but we don't create enough, let's say, real threat, and we don't score enough goals. Passes, again, we pass and pass and pass around the ball. It's been a story like this for a while, actually. I've seen it for a while. We always try to tap in the ball in the goal, which makes no sense. Start shooting maybe a bit more. I think we'll have a bit more chances to score. Pass accuracy, very good. Fouls, 5-13. Of course, Brentford, they, destroyed any attack that they saw. Yellow cards doesn't really matter. No red cards, no offsides, which already tells you a bit of the story here. And then 5 corners, a disaster corner taking. I mean, how difficult is it to freaking put the ball past the first defender? I mean, it's really remarkable. Anyways, this game really again showed how weak we are. And I'm not here saying, oh, this is because Lampard is the manager. No, I mean, we've been like this for a while now. And just as a small reminder, last season they destroyed us, Brentford. Destroyed us last year. And last year we were, I think, a bit better than today, right? And yet they destroyed us. Now, going back to the Lampard thing, I'll say it again. And you can watch the video where I backed Graham Potter. I said it makes 0 sense to sack him right now, if we're not going to put in the real manager for next season, right? We now have Lampard until the end of the season, and then probably we're going to get Pochettino. I'll do a separate video about that. Again, if you enjoy this type of videos, by the way, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, would really appreciate that. But again, as you can see right now, what's the point of taking Lampard in? What, just because he's super frank and of course fans like him, etc., etc. Maybe he might convince Mount to stay or sign the contract. I don't know. But what was the point of sacking Tuchel to get Graham Potter to then sack him 10 days before the end of the season to get in Lampard to then get Pochettino probably for the next season? It just doesn't make any sense. It really does not make any freaking sense. But I digress. Let's get back to the game. All right, second half. Second half, of course, was much better since we put in Mudryk, we put in Aubameyang, and then, of course, we were a bit more of an attacking team. But again, overall, Aubameyang, right, barely has any minutes throughout the season, so don't expect that much from him. Don't expect that much from him. If you want to see him do something, maybe start the game with the player. That way he can maybe grow throughout the game. Of course, next game is against Arsenal. Now, wouldn't it be great if he scores the winning goal against Arsenal, which basically destroys their title chances? I think that would make our season a success. Wouldn't you agree? Like the time where we prevented Tottenham from accidentally winning the league. Could be a good weekend if we somehow manage to win against Arsenal. The odds of that happening are very, very small. Anyways, Reece James out for the rest of the season, Mason Mount out for the rest of the season, and who knows, if he doesn't sign a contract, maybe we won't even see him again in a Chelsea shirt. Mason Mount, never again in a Chelsea shirt. Crazy to think about that. But anyways, this game again, a disaster. We can't score goals, and if we score, it's in our own net. That's about it for me in this video. Of course, do share your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not. And I see you all in the next one. Hopefully, we can do something against Arsenal. But hey, who am I kidding, right? Anyways, bye-bye.